Tonight's movie focuses on the musculoskeletal system, and some people break that up into two separate systems where they look at the muscular system and the skeletal, but we're going to look at the two of them at the same time. That consists of all the bones and muscles that allow you to move, and the system is made so it allows movement, protects all of our organs, and it provides support to those organs so that you're like 5 or 6 feet tall instead of a lump on the ground. So the bone also contains bone marrow, some of those bigger bones, and that produces all the blood cells that we need. So the components. We have connective tissue, which is made of first the bones, which are hard and dense, and you remember that hopefully from our microscope activity. We also have cartilage. Cartilage is a smooth cushion that you find in between bones. It's to prevent the bones from grinding against one another, because otherwise they'd wear down really fast. To hold the bones together, we have ligaments. These are kind of elastics that help hold the bones together, and that makes it so that they don't spread too far. We also have tendons. Tendons are similar to ligaments, but they aren't as elastic as ligaments, and what they do is that they attach muscles to the bones, and that allows the muscles to work together with the bones to allow movement. Then we have our muscle tissue, which obviously it's muscle fibers. So these are long cells that when they're relaxed, they tend to be long and thin, and when they are tensed up, they get shorter and thicker, and that just allows the muscle to contract. So they do this with a nerve cell. The nerve cell sends a signal or relays the signal, and the muscles contract. And you can try this for yourself by flexing your bicep. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. So a sample disorder I'm going to talk about is osteoporosis. Some of you probably have heard of this before. Osteoporosis simply means your bone density is decreased, and as a result the bones are more brittle and they get weaker. It's more common in women, and it's linked to a calcium deficiency, so they recommend that you drink more milk. It's more common in women because women are more likely to have children than men, and the calcium needed for the baby's bones comes from mom's bones. So as a result, women need more calcium than guys. The best way to diagnose this is with a simple x-ray. They'll call it a bone density scan, but it's really just an x-ray where they're checking to see how easily the x-rays pass through your bones. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. On to the nervous system. So the nervous system, we've got the brain, the spinal cord, and all of our nerves carrying all those electrical impulses all around our body. So it controls everything we do and helps us make sense of our surroundings. So the nervous system, it collects information, it processes it, and then it sends directions out to the body to have us do whatever it is that we need to do. So all of that is done by nerve impulses, which are electrical signals sent from cell to cell. So for those of you who have seen The Matrix and understand that we are batteries, we are batteries. So hopefully this is real. We'll move on from that thought in 3, 2, 1. So components. We've got our central nervous system, which is your brain and spinal cord. Your brain makes a lot of decisions, stores memories, that kind of stuff. Your spinal cord does two things. One, it relays a lot of information on up your back to your brain, but it also makes a few decisions that have to be done pretty quick. Like if you touch something really, really hot, your spinal cord gets the message and they do two things. Sends the message onto the brain saying, hey, we touched something hot, so the hand's about to move, and it sends a signal at the same time out to your hand saying, hey, stop touching that hot thing. So that's the job of the central nervous system. Then we have the peripheral nervous system, and its job, there's several things. First, it receives signals from all of our sensory organs, which allows us to do that response. It relays signals from the brain to parts of the body to control two types of motions. The voluntary muscles, those are the ones where we're saying, okay, we want to move this muscle and we think about it to make it move. But we also have the involuntary muscles. Involuntary ones are the ones we don't think about and they happen, just making our heart beat, our breathing, all that kind of stuff. Moving on in 3, 2, 1. Lastly, a sample disorder is MS, multiple sclerosis, and what happens is your nerve cells have an insulating layer on the outside called a myelin sheath, and its job is to protect the neurons from sending the electricity in the wrong direction. Think about it as an electrical wire that somebody rubbed the insulation off. So in MS, what happens is that sheath is broken down, and as a result, we lose neurological function. Well, that doesn't sound bad. Well, what that means is our speech gets slurred, muscle weakness, and reduced motor skill, which that's the problem. And in class, we'll go over a few more things. Thanks for watching.